everyone, thank you for watching. My name is Ivan Blasquez. I'm a professional vegan, natural bodybuilder and physique athlete. I'm also a triathlete, but I'm also a personal trainer, and I write for On Fitness magazine. What I'd like to discuss in this vlog is something that's on my mind, and I really want to discuss it, is posing. I'm definitely going to start working on that, but you know, it's not something where it's just focusing on looking at my body and seeing what my muscles look like. That's scratching the surface, my friends. This is truly a science, and I want to impart this impression on you so you can understand where I'm coming from. It's not about vanity, believe me. Yes, it is at the end of the day, but the reality is I actually feel better about the posing in regards to the kinesiological perspective, in terms of my mind's ability to connect with a lot of different perspectives with posing. First, you have to build from the ground up, okay? So you have to make sure that your legs are in check when you pose. You have to have them not only looking a certain way, and looking, I'm not talking about appearance by muscle, I'm talking about the angles in terms of how you're holding your structure, your joints, you know, your bones, and creating visually, aesthetically appealing lines that only an experienced competitor knows what they look like, okay? Like we have, obviously, for men, it's like the shoulder to waist ratio. It's called the Adonis. I guess it's the Adonis formula, where you kind of look like you have that V-taper. It's obviously the well-known V-taper. Well, the goal is to maintain that V-taper at all times while you're on stage and doing your routine. You know, while you're on. So in other words, you can't really let up at all the whole time you're on stage, and it's not really a bad thing. I think it's a great thing. And you have to do it in a way where you don't look like a robot and you don't look stiff and rigid. You have to be smooth and fluid. You almost have to make it look like that's the way you look without even trying. And that's the way I like. Not just the holding the muscles, but also the alignments and the angles. The one thing I like to tell myself, as well as other people who, if I ever have the opportunity to work with on posing, is that you want to pose based on the angle of presentation. In other words, the way that the audience and the judges mainly will see you, okay? So you have to pattern or cater your posing to the proper angle that the judge's eye line will see you. So that's where things have to come into play, as far as how you align your body, your shoulders, and things like that, and how you square off from the front, side, and from the back. But I also like to tell people that it's not just about looking your best from one angle. I actually go the extra mile. I want you to look fair or adequate from other angles. If you look really good from one angle, but you look bad from the other, then you need to work on your posing more, because that's not good enough. At least for me, it's not good enough. That's the way I pose. I pose to look good from all angles. Now, it's kind of like a grading system, like A, B, C, D, and F, right? A is excellent and F is failing. So my goal is to get an A+ on the judge's eye line pose. So in other words, if I'm facing front, I want to make sure that I look my best there. But if there's a photographer who's going to take a picture from the side, that's the reason why I want people to look good from all angles. Is because if a photographer takes a picture from the side, trust me, it's nothing more frustrating when you get a picture from one bad angle, and it'll make you think that, you know, that's how you look, when it really isn't. It was just they took it from, you were not positioning yourself to look good from that angle. But the way I teach it is look okay from all the other angles, but nail your eye line, the judge's eye line pose. So I've been able to do that, and it takes a little extra time, but it's much better. So when it comes to posing, obviously with the V-taper, you want to maintain the frame. So it's like you build from the outside to the inside. The outside is like, you know, if you could draw a line on the outside of your arms, your shoulders, your chest, your abs, and your legs, the silhouette. If you were looking at your shadow, you can't see anything but a black outline of your body, right? That's the outside that's the frame. We're working on your silhouette, your shadow silhouette. It has to, in fact, that's another way to train with posing, is to actually look at your shadow and make it look as V-tapered as possible. That'll teach you. There's a lot of kinesiology and motion control with a lat spread, particularly a front relax and back relax lat spread. That's when you accentuate your V by by actually activating your latissimus dorsi, and you actually have to isometrically contract it into internal rotation, as well as you have to scapular abduct, okay? That's moving away from the midline of the spine, your shoulder blades, okay? So just the way I'm just talking right now should have already rang off a bell in your head that obviously respects and acknowledges the fact that when you see my videos, the way I'm talking now is the way I'm thinking and the way I'm presenting myself in the video. So, you know, this should kind of eliminate the assumptions that may be involved with just the vanity side of the posing. Trust me, I'm about to run out of video, but I could keep going. As far as I could talk about what you do with your toes and how you leverage the ground, the reaction forces to elicit a look with the way your muscles contract through your legs. There's a lot of, when you do isometric contractions, it's actually not as easy as people think, because you're training a contraction and you're associating the way it feels with how it looks based on a muscle length tension relationship that you're completely unfamiliar with. Most people, you know, curls, right? Well, I'm telling you to like hold your arm out here and then tense it from here and work on how it's supposed to feel there and make it look a certain way and control it. That's not easy because that's an unfamiliar motion and it's an unfamiliar muscle action. So those are some of the things that are involved with posing, okay? It's truly a science. I could definitely keep going in regards to this, and I definitely will, but that's what I wanted to talk about this morning is you know, find yourself a posing coach who has done it and who has been there and doesn't just follow like a cookie cutter or a rubric of posing guidelines. They have to know. I prefer people who know the science, who actually know kinesiology, who actually have a degree in a health-related field. Thank you for watching.